Here's who stood out during the fourth practice of 49ers training camp. Today, the 49ers practiced 20 yards away from the media, as opposed to Monday when they practiced a mile and a half away from us. So these players really stood out in the sense that I could see them. Wide receiver Dante Pettis. He was the best wide receiver on the field. Yes, I really just said that. Pettis has never played this well in a practice in his professional career. He caught a team-high 5 passes during team drills, including 2 from Jimmie, who seems to have developed trust in Pettis. Good sign. Pettis also caught 3 passes over the middle. I thought I was hallucinating. I've never seen him attack the ball while running over the middle before. Seems like he's competing to start this season. Good for him. Wide receiver Trent Taylor. He was the second best wide receiver on the field on Tuesday and has been the most consistent receiver on the offense regardless of position through the first 4 days of training camp. Taylor has picked up right where he left off last training camp before he broke his foot when he was Garoppolo's favorite target. Taylor's foot seems fine now. Let's see if he can make it through training camp without getting injured again. Wide receiver Juwan Jennings. He made a difficult, leaping catch between Jamar Taylor and Jimmie Ward for a 15-yard catch on 3rd and 10. Nick Mullins threw the pass, even though Jennings essentially was double covered. Mullins clearly trusts Jennings, and for good reason. Tight end Ross Dwelley. He beat backup strong safety Marcel Harris during one-on-one drills. Dwelley ran an in route, slipped to the grass, but popped back up and made the catch before Harris could recover. Dwelley is slick. And during team drills, he caught a 25-yard pass from Mullins while running a post route. The 49ers' secret weapon had a good day. Tight end Chase Harrell. He's an extremely good athlete. Yesterday, I said that he's uncoordinated and can't catch. But today he hung on to the ball. And during one-on-ones, he beat starting weak side linebacker Kwon Alexander with an out route. Just smoked one of the highest paid defensive players on the 49ers. Good sign for the undrafted rookie. Running back Raheem Mostert. He clearly has improved his route running since last season. He's shiftier and can run a greater variety of routes, such as choice routes and option routes over the middle. In the past, he mostly ran swing routes in the flat and wheel routes up the sideline. Good to see a veteran running back add to his game late in his career. Running back Tevin Coleman. He ran 50 yards untouched for a touchdown against the second-team defense. Coleman loves cutting back behind the center, and the 49ers' interior run defense has been shaky through the first 4 days of training camp. So Coleman has played well. Running back Jeff Wilson Jr. He made a one-handed catch during one-on-ones. Wilson is an excellent receiver for a running back, which is why he almost certainly will make some team's 53-man roster this season if the 49ers waive him after training camp. I doubt they'll waive him. Running back Siobhan Ahmed. He's extremely fast. He burned rookie linebacker Jonas Griffith with a wheel route up the sideline during one-on-ones. Ahmed was so fast, the quarterback underthrew the deep ball. Ahmed had to stop, adjust, and leap for the pass. He caught it, landed flat on his back, and held on. Hell of a catch. Fullback Kyle Juszczyk. He beat Pro Bowl middle linebacker Fred Woerner with a wheel route during one-on-ones. Juszczyk is an underrated receiver who deserves more targets during real games. He almost always makes big plays. Right tackle Mike McGlinchey. He beat defensive end D Ford during one-on-one pass rush drills. Ford tried to rush around the edge with speed, and McGlinchey pushed him out of the pocket. McGlinchey seems more fluid in pass protection than the past couple years when he was choppy and robotic. Defensive end Nick Bosa. He didn't beat left tackle Trent Williams the one time they faced each other during one-on-ones, but Bosa beat him a half hour later for a sack during team drills. Then for good measure, Bosa recorded a second sack on the final play of practice when he looped to the inside and knifed past Juszczyk. Bosa is in better shape than last season, if that's even possible. Nose tackle DJ Jones. He still is slightly overweight and out of shape, but he's improving. And he's still extremely difficult to block. Right guard Daniel Brunskill could not block Jones during one-on-ones. Good sign for the 49ers defense. Jones is one of the most underrated players on the team when healthy. Strong safety Jaquiski Tartt. He broke up a pass intended for rookie tight end Chase Harrell during one-on-ones. Harrell is good, but not good enough to beat Tartt just yet. The only backup tight end in the 49ers who has beaten Tartt is Dwelley. Cornerback Ahkello Witherpsoon. He struggled against Pettis during one-on-ones, but got to play with the first-string defense in team drills for the first time in training camp this year and played well. He gave up no catches during that portion of practice. Defensive coordinator Robert Saleh says there's an open competition for the number 2 cornerback job between Witherpsoon, Emmanuel Mosley, and Jason Verrett. Seems obvious the coaches want Witherpsoon to win the job. Today was a step in the right direction for him. Nickelback Jamar Taylor. He broke up a Jimmy Garoppolo pass intended for George Kittle during team drills. Kittle ran a slant route. Taylor read it all the way, jumped in front of Kittle, and easily swatted the ball to the ground. Great play, especially for a backup nickelback against an all-pro tight end. Center Ben Garland. He left practice with an injured ankle. Watched the final 45 minutes from the sideline. The 49ers now have lost 3 centers. Garland, starter Weston Richburg, who could start the season on the physically unable to perform list, and Spencer Long, who retired. Daniel Brunskill had to move from right guard to center for the final 45 minutes of practice. Look for the 49ers to sign a center soon. Defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw. He overwhelmed rookie guard Colton McKivitz with power during one-on-ones, but couldn't move Laken Tomlinson with the same bull rush. Kinlaw is unpolished and he has one move, a bull rush. It's clear he never has encountered an offensive lineman he couldn't overpower. Now, Kinlaw knows he can't simply push around NFL offensive linemen. He's a project with lots of potential, but it might take him a while to become a productive pass rusher, just as it took Eric Armstead time to blossom. They're similar players. Free safety Jimmie Ward. During one-on-ones, he gave up a deep catch to Trent Taylor, not a speed receiver. Ward is getting reps at nickelback because the starter, K'Wan Williams, is out with a sore calf. So Ward is now the backup nickel after Jamar Taylor. And Ward has struggled at nickel. He covers well, but he doesn't turn his head to find the ball, so he gives up big plays to receivers who don't normally make big plays. The Niners might need to find another backup nickel. Tight end Charlie Woerner. He struggles to beat man-to-man coverage. He could not beat backup free safety Travarius Moore during one-on-ones. Woerner's routes have no finesse or deception. He telegraphs where he's going. He's clearly strong and an excellent blocker, but he's not an offensive lineman. He's a tight end, so he has to get open too. We'll see if he improves this part of his game. Tight end Jordan Reed. He did not warm up with the 49ers or work out on a side field or even watch practice from the sideline. He was just MIA. I assume the 49ers want him to rehab away from the media, considering Jalen Hurd tore his ACL right in front of us this weekend while rehabbing. So I assume Reed will join practice at some point this week, but the clock is ticking.